I love this shit. Yo, this is crazy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the XplorHerr Now podcast. I'm your host. I'm Phil. I am the podcast doctor, and we are here recording live at the Podcast Doctor Studios. And we are actually live right now on Facebook Live. So if you are watching, please leave a comment below, and we will share it on our screen. So let me welcome everybody here. Let me welcome our founder, Dwight Sutton. Dwight, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing?
I am doing great, and today we have a very, very special guest, which is a new member of the team. So let me welcome Ariel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yay, yay. Yes.
I'm excited.
Dwight, man, how's it going, man?
Man, it's going great, man. I'm totally happy about everything that's taking place. Like, you know what I mean? My vision is finally coming to fruition. You know what I mean? Putting the right pieces together and I look forward to the launch in January and stuff like that. And then like find the right people that I need to position in the right places, because like, as I was telling you before, like I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. And be able to have the right people to go into certain positions and be able to take care of that without me micromanaging is a blessing. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And that's where Ariel comes in. You know what I mean? She's going to be the new director of marketing of XplorHerr with a whole slew of experience and everything like that. Very beautiful young woman, very outgoing, very, very intelligent and stuff. And she's going to make my job much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's the goal.
So Ariel, thank you for coming. Yeah. Thank you for being a part of the team. So first of all, let everybody know where they can actually find you at. If they're watching right now, where can they find you at? Is there anywhere?
All of the social medias, everywhere. Just Ariel, like the mermaid, Amoure, like love. There's pretty much no way that you can type that into a search engine and you won't find me.
All right, sounds
Facebook,
good.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that.
All right. So Dwight, today, do you know what we're talking about today?
Do I know what we're talking about?
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the BDE versus the other part. You know what I mean? That other part. You know what I mean? We're talking about things that people do not like to talk about in a respectful manner. And for those who don't know what BDE means, it means big dick energy versus somebody who doesn't have that.
Yep.
And the attitude and the behaviors that come with that. You know what I mean? As I told you before in other podcasts and stuff like that, that I have heard of so many women talking about why all the bad guys got the good package. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And that's why XplorHerr is going to be so important, to be able to tap into that, to give the good guys the same playing field as the bad guys. Mm-hmm. So everybody's going to have that BDE energy.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So before we actually get into that, there's a video I wanted to pull up. And so, you know how in the first few episodes, I think our very first episode we did, if you haven't caught it, make sure you go check it out on all your podcast platforms. You know, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all that jazz right there. But the thing that I want to talk about is, does size really matter? Now that we actually have a woman here with us right now.
Yes.
We actually get to dive into that just a little bit, okay? And so I did pull up a little video on YouTube. Now, this is a guy. He's at a campus. I don't know where the campus is, but he just literally just goes around talking to women and then just asking them, does size really matter? So let's check it out.
Gabby.
All right, Gabby. So today's question is, does size matter?
You talking about a dick?
Really, nigga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
It don't.
How you gonna change yourself now?
I want my best friend to answer this. Okay, because if it's small and you know what you're doing, then it's okay.
All right, and what if it's too big?
What you mean, what if it's too big? As long as you know how to work it, that's all it matters.
All right, so 1 point for the world.
If it's too big, just stick the tip in.
1 point for the world.
What? What was that? Say it again.
If it's too big, then just stick the tip in.
I don't want to answer no more. Y'all answer this friend.
I'm with my mama.
All right.
All right, we got a couple more. Hurry up.
Well,
Come
shit.
on.
All right, so the question is, does size matter?
The size of what?
The size of your penis.
Yeah, it matter.
Why?
Why wouldn't it matter?
Because, like, you not.
Okay, if it's little, I can't feel it, so why would I want something little? If you know what he's doing, you can't. It gotta be over 6 inches.
6 inches?
Over 6 is national average. You gotta
National
get over that.
average.
All right, what if it's too big, though?
Okay.
I ain't never met nothing too big, so.
All right, thank you. All right, so what's your guys' name?
Armani. Elena.
All right, so the question for today is, does size matter?
Fucking right, size matter. What the fuck? Yeah.
Now please touch it.
Size matter, but if you know how to, I mean, if you got a little pee-wee and you know how to work your pee-wee, it's all good. Everything. I need all of it. Yeah, I need it.
So why does it matter? Like, why is that a big deal?
It's a big deal because niggas with small PPs, they have too much confidence. They need to pipe it down.
So okay, I'm gonna drop it down here for a second.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
did that give you a headache,
That gave me, it pissed me off.
Ariel? Did that give you a headache?
That was a lot.
All right, so I'll ask the question to you. Does or did size matter to you, or does it matter to you?
I think there was definitely a time when it did. And now I would say that is not the main priority. Because it's funny, the girl, she was like, said she hadn't met one that was too big before. I feel like I have. And
Okay.
and also with different guys that are in that category, they just think differently. It's like women with big tits. Like the bigger their boobs, the more confidence that they have, and they kind of don't care whether or not they have a good personality. I think that
She said it, Dwight.
yeah.
So you just literally just epitomized BDE right there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so it's the fact that guys
they don't have to try. They think they don't have to try because
Right.
they have the only
pack-
thing that matters.
The package.
Yeah.
right. And Dwight, what did you say earlier? Though you said why are so many bad guys?
They said, got the good package, the big package.
Right. It's because they have the confidence.
Exactly. It's not just but the thing
It's like
is
a
this.
false confidence.
It's
though.
a false confidence. False confidence based off of a physical feature. You think I'm trying to say? Because yeah, you may have a good package, but you're a horrible person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You don't even know how to like try in other areas because you've never had to.
And then
Never
you
felt like you had to.
exactly, and then also I've known guys that I knew that you know what I mean. Everybody talked about their package, their penis size, and like these dudes have a whole bunch of kids to all kinds of women. And the thing that it always tripped me out was like, why would somebody allow somebody just to come to get up in them and produce babies when he got like 12 other babies' mamas? That's how powerful that package is. That's how powerful that package is. That you know what I mean. It traumatizes, it hypnotizes.
It's almost like addicting, like a drug. The way people are with candy or sweets or whatever. It's an indulgence, I guess, and then people kind of ignore everything else that comes along with it. Like, is that a good person? Is it somebody I want to have a baby with? Is like anything attached to that big dick is like any good?
Right. Right. And so, I feel that there's a lot of guys that have that BDE and they like to strut around like their S don't stink.
Right.
and so I think the majority of men who don't necessarily have the BDE is because maybe their confidence is not up to par versus somebody else's.
Yeah.
And that's where XplorHerr comes in. Isn't that right, Dwight?
Yes, XplorHerr. Let me tell you about this. This is the whole reason that I developed this product that got a patent and trademark, because the thing is that research has shown that women are not satisfied 80% of the time in the bed. And that made me think 80% of the time. So how many of them people are married or in a relationship with somebody that they love but can't sit and explain to them or communicate to them that, hey, I love you, you's a good person, but like I need you to be better physically. Because people get offended when you start talking about their
Sensitive subject.
negative traits.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject for sure. And especially I think guys rip on each other. Guys rip on each other so much, almost more than women do, that they already don't want to talk about it. So it's even more sensitive, I think, to talk about with like the person that you're intimate with, sadly.
Yeah, and like Ariel said, Ariel's saying about, being able to communicate. And this is the whole thing about XplorHerr. It's just not a brand, it's a movement. And the movement is just to empower people to gain a greater understanding of the anatomy, of physical and of the spiritual and of the emotional, of how to connect and produce something that is to be talked about. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Now, if you have a one night stand, that's different. You're not talking about I love you. If you say you love, you's a lie. You just a lie. Talk about you love me. You just met me 10 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But so, like I said, XplorHerr is there to give that guy not only the physical attributes to guarantee to please that woman, but also the internal empowerment for them to be sure and be happy in what they're doing, because all men want to please women. I don't care who you is. You want to please women. There's nothing like seeing a woman's eyes roll back. There's nothing like hearing her moan and stuff of that nature. There's nothing like, after you're done, she turns over and go to sleep. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And like XplorHerr is going to change the dynamics that not only the BDEs can do that, but the guy who may not be, who's not well endowed. One thing about XplorHerr, it wasn't just a product that I thought about, came up with, and said, bam, 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 put together. This thing was literally scientifically, mathematically put together for me conversing with multitudes of gynecologists, neurologists, and even, sex therapists and things of that nature, because I would need to know why, and then how to tap into that. You think I'm trying to say? Because you got all these pills and stuff out there, man, that causes harm to the body. That, you got like the penis pump, man. People don't understand is that when you utilize things of that nature and push into your body, it's a foreign object that begins to deteriorate the muscle. Yes. Yeah. So with that, people are willing to risk their life to get an endowment down there and stuff of that nature. So like I said, man, like XplorHerr is holistic. XplorHerr is guaranteed every time. You know what I mean? The length of XplorHerr is going to be 3.5 inches. The girth, when it inflates, will be 5 to 6 inches diameter. The reason why it is 3.5 inches is because of the nerve endings. My whole thing was tapping into the nerve endings because that's a guaranteed spot.
Can you explain a little bit more about what XplorHerr, like the product itself, is?
Right. What it is like it's. I would have the picture show up, but now I'm gonna show you right now because that's gonna be for the finale. But XplorHerr is a latex product that goes with a man's penis like a sleeve. All right. How I set it up, I put these rivets on it that it could be like a motion when he's inside a woman, penetrating her. But now the solution that I have to inflate it inflates it to 5 to 6 inches in diameter. So if you have a man whose penis is, say, the size of my finger, right, that's not going to do nothing, homie. She's lying if she's moaning.
And we can't be afraid to say that, like, that exists. Like, that's a real thing. There's nothing wrong with being ashamed of it. But, I mean, it's real. Like, a person shouldn't feel bad because they don't meet as the national average or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that's crazy that you said that because people say things without understanding because the national average. There's a multitude of average.
And I mean, I'd like to know how many people that they measured for that.
Exactly.
Who was like ready to whip it out and be measured for the sake of the national average.
And getting back to what we were talking about the product itself. So once you slide it on, it goes up under the man's head, and then you press the solution, it begins to inflate like this. But now it doesn't cover the whole penis. It's covered down to the part where it connects right to the vein because he also has to feel something himself. So now this, you say 3.5 inches, 5 centimeters diameter. Wow, that may seem like a lot, but it's not too hard, it's not too soft, but it's also able to press upon the woman's G-spot that is really there. And stuff of that nature. And then not only that, what you're doing is tapping into all the nerve endings that she has 2 to 3 inches of her vaginal walls. And what that means is pleasure. What that means is fulfillment. What that means is like orgasms. What that means is like internally, like you feel as though like, you know what I mean?
So would you describe it as like a toy or a tool, or like how would you describe it?
It's not a toy. It's a necessity.
Okay.
When I think of it, it's a tool, like you have in a toolbox and stuff like that. There's all kinds of tools in the toolbox, right? And like you got the hammer. The hammer is used to hit the nails in and knock stuff down. You got the screwdriver, the Phillips screwdriver. You got the scrapers and all that. And you cannot utilize one tool for everything. So with XplorHerr being a relationship enhancement tool, and it means that relationship enhancement tool is that this is set directly for the enhancement of the intimate partner that they're with. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about they pop a pill and wait around.
It's literally something they can use together. That's meant to be used together with two people.
Yes, one time.
Okay.
One time.
So it's going to be a disposable, kind of like a condom, or
yes.
Okay.
Yes, not like a condom. It's going to be as a condom in the sense that it's latex and that to use it multiple times is nasty.
True.
You got bacteria.
So it's not going to be something that can be cleansed and reused.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. No. Who wants to, like, if somebody
A lot of most sex toys. I mean, that's
right. That is true, and
but this is something that's more like would you purchase it in like a package, like multiple ones in a package?
See how our team, the team has set it up is that we're going to have subscription orders, we're going to have individual package, and we're going to have multiple package. So depending on their desires of what they want, you think I'm trying to say, has a factor in how they will receive it. One of the things, and things are in the making right now, that we're going to have e-commerce. We're going to be in some stores and stuff, and we're going to be, be able to position that if people need to buy it right away, they could go somewhere and buy it. Or if they want to come online and buy it, then they buy it. And then we're going to have a host of I call them XplorHerr brand models, also promoting the product. And then by using those promo codes from the models, they get to build up their following and everything like that nature.
Very cool.
Yes.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm. It's very exciting. I mean,
it's revolutionary.
Yes, it is very revolutionary and stuff. But you know what's so, when you say revolutionary, the thing about it was so powerful because I had a lot of people sit and tell me, oh, they probably made something like this and this and that, and that's a lie, because when you go to get things patented, you have to do research. I have paid much money for patent researchers, patent attorneys, and things of that nature. That's like I ain't gonna name the company name, but I went to this one company and I gave them a presentation just off of a sales sheet. And I told them about the product and everything, and they literally stopped me in the middle of my presentation and offered me $250,000 for my product.
Oh, wow.
I said, nah, I'm good. Because the simple fact is, if you're willing to give me $250,000 right now without me even finishing not without even finishing
like your whole presentation.
Yeah, the whole presentation, that lets me know that I'm on to something large.
Yeah, they were like, dang it, why didn't we think of that?
Exactly. And then, like I said, it's also like I told you, I told many other people, that the XplorHerr is my first product from Innovative Development Enlightenment, Inc. And the thing is, is that it's not about me. XplorHerr is going to allow me to create a legacy for my family. XplorHerr is going to allow me to create opportunities for people in my hometown, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That's one of the things why I guess God allowed this to be on my heart so long, because this is called a high purchase product. And with this, I'm going to be able to do a lot of things that impact my community. Some people get caught up on the thing with, the money thing and this and that, and I'm not. And stuff like that. Like I said, I have more time behind me than I have in front of me. So right now, everything that happens, it's all about empowering people, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And also, what also has kept me really going is, I'm having my first grandson, and I refuse to allow him to come into this world and walk this out and not have a stepping stone. You know what I mean? And my daughters, Brittany and Kristen, and like I sit and say, I'm very excited, more or less, not so much about the money, but the things I'm going to be able to do to impact my community.
That's awesome. Well, this is a recession-proof industry. So.
Yes, it is. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff of that nature.
Well, since you guys were talking about the actual schematics of everything, and Dwight and I, we talked about it briefly in our very first episode. So if you haven't listened to it, make sure you check all of them out. You know, in our latest episode that we did, Dwight does get a little bit emotional as well about some of his life's trials and tribulations that he's gone through. So definitely take a look at that. But there is something that I did want to talk to you, Ariel, about your own personal experiences with guys that are bigger or guys that are smaller, and just how either A, they treated you, or B, how you actually responded to them as a sexual partner.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I'm going to go based on that national average that she was talking about.
Yeah.
In my experience, guys that were above that national average kind of automatically don't have to work as hard, or at least they don't think they do, so they don't try as hard. They don't work as hard. It's easier for them to get laid, but, you know, that doesn't mean that they're going to be good in a relationship. That doesn't mean they're going to be a good lover even. Because there's a lot of guys, they don't really have to put in any work. It's funny because it's similar to me as like those really crazy sex toys, like giant dildos that are just ridiculous. Like, obviously there is a certain method of pleasure that a woman can get that doesn't really require a man even, or doesn't require much if it's superficial. But I think when it comes down to an intimate connection with somebody, that's different. And so when I've had other partners that maybe didn't meet whatever that national average was, or and a lot of times it's in their head, because I'm not whipping out a
ruler.
Like, do you meet the national average? Like, it's at the end of the day, it's
Hold
more,
up.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's more about, like, am I having a good time? Am I enjoying this experience, like, in total? And sometimes what didn't matter. It wasn't about an intimate connection with somebody. So yeah, okay, great. They had the right equipment, but it's not always about that.
So as a woman, can you tell if a guy has BDE before you even
I think so.
get a chance to lay with them?
I think so.
Whoa.
I think so. And I think a lot of it is, honestly, they're a little bit less romantic, like a little bit less chivalrous. They're not so quick to be the ones to open the door for you. They're not so quick to be complimentary. Like, there's certain compliments that I think a girl hears over and over again that, you know, are just like basic compliments, just like,
hey,
you
beautiful.
tell every girl this. Yes.
Good
like,
morning.
Hey, boo boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boo boo kitty.
You know, and I think
on your
that
feet?
guys that kind of like know that they can put it down on a girl with very like little to no effort, they show that in every other area too, with like little to no effort in romance or in conversation, and things like that. And so I've definitely been on some first dates where guys were showing that right away. And then it's almost like it becomes, okay, do I just want to have good sex with this guy? And I know that at least he's good for that much, and probably not much more outside of that. Or does it matter that I have an intimate connection with this guy? And you can have like really great sex without any intimacy whatsoever.
So I'm going to ask you a very important question here. If someone, let's say, is not as big as they would like to be,
Yeah.
and they pulled out a product similar, or if they pulled out XplorHerr, and they told you about it, would you be intrigued?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think I would be more intrigued than I would if they pulled out like a whole bunch of sex toys or something. You know, because that would
Let
be.
me get my briefcase.
Or okay, so what about, let's say, compared to, let's say, that versus, hey, let me take this pill.
Yeah.
It takes an hour to work. Or
There's a lot of reasons why that's weird, you know, because not only does the pill kick, it takes a while to kick in. There's a lot of times it like lasts for 4 hours or too long, and it's I don't know, it's not natural. You have to wait. It's weird. I don't know.
But see, let me interject on that real
They're
quick.
gonna have a heart attack.
okay.
Like,
Yeah, but see, what the pill she's talking about is about stamina. Stamina and building size is two different things.
yeah, because I don't think those.
You know what I
do
mean?
that.
No pill, and I'm gonna say this again to everybody out there who is spending billions of dollars on the male enhancement industry, thinking that these pills are gonna give your penis
Sorry, guys.
girth, does not work.
It's a lie.
Does
It's all
not
a
work.
lie.
How, and then then you get caught up by listening to these porn stars sitting up there with these commercials talking about, hey, if you take these pills, man,
Yeah.
the girls are gonna love you. They already loved you 20 years before. But people buy into it with the hopes that they could rub the magic genie and be granted a wish.
Yeah.
No.
No.
The thing is this about society is that, like I said, good and evil always are going to exist. You just have to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So what XplorHerr do is to give that guy who's not well endowed, who feels that he's inadequate in the area and stuff like that, the opportunity to have something that's holistic, that's spontaneous, and that's guaranteed. I'm not talking about, well, maybe, no, I'm telling you, I guarantee it will do what it's supposed to do.
And I think at the end of the day, a woman is going to appreciate that, like, you're man enough to be like, hey, I may not have that, like, BDE thing going on, but I want to make sure you have the best time of your life, and this is going to help with that. I think a woman would appreciate that instead of being like, oh no, you don't meet my expectations, so that's it. We're not, you know.
That's like even like talking about that. One of the things I told you that made me want to get. I had a situation again, as I told you before, that I went to a store, and I went to the store to get a condom. And the guy gave me a Magnum condom. Now, I'm not big enough for a condom, but I ain't small either now. You know what I mean? Dad, I'm all right. I'm good. But anyway, I didn't turn the condom back in because there was women right there at the counter. And I felt embarrassed. I felt shame. I felt all these things. And I didn't even know these women. That's what's so crazy about it. I didn't even know them. But it was like I had to impress them. So they said, oh, he got a Magnum condom. He must got that. He got that package. No. But what I do have is information. What I do have is that because I knew that there were certain areas I lacked in, that I had to find out all the pleasure points and all the things about a woman so that I know that when it came time for that intimate session, that entanglement, or whatever it be now with my wife, that I'm going to be able to please her. I'm going to be able to do things to her that hasn't been done, and then she can be like, man, oh my goodness, and be shocked. There's nothing like that feeling that the woman just looks at you with that look, just stares at you like this.
Would you say that's something that you've always been considerate about, or is that something that, like, later in life, like when you were younger, did you care that much?
Wow, that's a touchy subject right there because I talked about in my last podcast that I was molested by my babysitter, okay, and it messed up my childhood in a sense because I became very hypersexual at 6 years old. That I was attempting to do things that I didn't even understand. I was attracted to older women and this and that, man. Like the things that happened, like so. But when I have got older, and then me reading, oh come on, I love reading. Oh my God, I love it. My daughters, my wife, tell me like, can you rest your brain, please? I'm reading stuff to find out what makes her go ooh, what makes her go because when I used to look at the adult videos, and you see all those crazy faces, and I used to believe they was true all the time. Come to find out through research, that's a lot of acting. But the point is this.
Still a problem today that
yes,
people think that's like real.
Yes, it is. But that's what I was basing the reality off of, what I seen on TV. As I began to search and learn things, and I come to find out that, there's so many ways that you could tap into a person. Okay, there's also the mental way. A lot of guys need to understand, especially if you're in a relationship, foreplay starts before the bedroom.
Yeah, for sure.
Foreplay starts when you wake up in the morning, from that first kiss to that phone call. To that, you come home, you clean up and everything.
Yeah.
And stuff of that nature. So, like, this is where it comes in that with me, that when I began to learn, it heightened me. It made me think more than just trying to knock someone off to more or less, I want to give her an experience. And this is precisely about like how the name came about, XplorHerr. XplorHerr is a play on words where a person's going on an expedition. And if you go through history and look at things, every time that man have conquered new territory, found new territory, what they do? they put a flag on it to sit and say, hey, I found it. I conquered it.
Yeah.
And not saying conquered as in a wrong way, but when a man have not been used to seeing the response as he's going to get with XplorHerr, it is a new territory.
So like this product is going to kind of give all men an opportunity to conquer that new territory.
Exactly. And the thing about not just conquer the territory, they had to also XplorHerr, the website, is going to be informative.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know, because it's just not about going in there bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? You got to understand who you're dealing with. Every woman is different. Like I used to hear guys say it's all pink on the inside. Okay, but they're different. Some people like slow. Some people like, you know what I mean, hard. It's a different thing. And if you're not in tune with that person, guaranteed you're going to miss the mark. And especially if the lady that you're with, or your partner that you're with, is not capable to explain to you what they like. And that's one thing that happen. Like, you know what I mean? People get into a relationship, they about to have sex. Like, instead of you sitting there saying, hey, this is what turns me on.
Yeah, there's a major lack of communication.
Yes. You know
lot
what I mean?
of times.
Yeah, like, and then, like I should say, you know, before I got married, you know what I mean? This is before I got married. I used to sit and say, you know, I'm not a mind reader. Mm-hmm. Don't expect me to do you wonders if you ain't trying to tell me about your wonders. You think I'm trying to say? Because if you don't tell me and I think I'm doing something, we going on and on and on, you know what I mean?
I blame like romance movies and porn for that, because I think it gives both people the wrong perspective of how things are going to be. Like women think that you're just supposed to know. You're just supposed to know what we want and what we need. You're like, that's how every movie shows it. Like the right guy, he just knows.
Dapper Dan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the media perspective. You know what I mean? And this is one thing about XplorHerr. XplorHerr, we're going to bet everything, because we're going to have multiple different type of products that we also going to sponsor. And they're going to be tested out. You know what I mean? There's a thing that we're going to do. We're going to also get into the, you know what I mean, to the herbal thing too, but it's going to be tested out. You know what I mean? It's just about being able to create a platform, man, where people come in and know that, hey, if XplorHerr said this, it's guaranteed. You know what I mean? It's basically, it ain't going to be like, you know, a lot of these, like the male enhancement industry, it is a $15 billion a year industry. Some of the doctors, most of the doctors that they use to sit and say, like, if I had a pill bottle, like, and yes, a study has shown that yada yada, this is good for you. No, they're fake doctors.
Yeah, it's just like the skinny pills. There's no pill that's going to make me lose 20 pounds
Not at all.
over the weekend.
Not at all.
If there was, I would have found it by now.
Exactly. I take 2 pills. You know what I mean? Let me lose 40 this week. But like I said, say is that we get caught up in the male enhancement industry. It's so deceptive, and it plays over people's emotions. Again, you have beautiful women sitting up there saying like it works. Guys are going to go for it, which is understandable. And like with XplorHerr, I'm not playing that game. There ain't gonna be no fake thing about XplorHerr. Everything's gonna be tested and stuff like that, and we're gonna have money back guarantee. You know what I mean? Not waiting months and weeks on the phone. No, if you were not satisfied and you use the product properly, you're gonna get your money back. I don't want no unhappy customer. Now, I know there's going to be people out there that once the product comes out that, you know, people are going to say bad things. That comes with the game. You know what I mean? I'm not even giving energy to that. It just comes with the game. But my thing is about, like, I look for the first time when that man sees me walking and comes up and say, thank you. And I'm saying, like, why? He said, man, because you made my intimate relationship with my partner better. He said, thank you. That right there means more to me than anything. Yeah. Knowing that I was able to impact somebody's life, that strengthened the situation that was on the brink of destruction. And you know what I mean? Because like a lot of people sit and say, all you need is love. That's a lie. In a marriage, you know what I mean? That's
because communication, that's a whole separate thing.
Yes. And I could speak like me and my wife. We've been together 34 years.
She's watching.
Yeah, I know she's watching.
Hi,
man.
wifey.
We've been together 34 years. And like I said and say, like, bro, if it wasn't for her name's Sharice Sutton, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You know what I mean? Like, my life is a book waiting to be written. But she stood by my side in spite of me. And, like, this whole thing with this product is that I'm be able to help somebody else, but I'm going to be able to give her what she deserves. And stuff, you know what I mean? and everything that she deserves. So, like I said, that's why this product is so important to me. I'm not gonna promote something fake because what I'm doing is going to be impacting my family. So how can I impact my family off of a lie and be comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Like I've seen people lose their mind over money. I've been offered a whole bunch of money. You know, my family could testify. I was offered $625,000. Now I never had that much money, but I turned it down. You know what I mean? Because it just wasn't right. You know what I mean? And that's how I know that there was a change going on inside of me because usually I would have took it and did what I do.
And ran.
You know what I'm trying to say? Me and the wife went on a major vacation and we be talking trash. As soon as we come back, I'm getting arrested. But but like I said, man, like this product means a lot to me. You know what I mean? And stuff of that nature. Like it really because they have a thing called a small penis syndrome. And it talks about the characteristics of the male, that penis is small. And the things that they go through. You have people commit suicide over this, man.
We don't talk about that stuff enough. I think it's always highlighted with women, like the insecurities that women have because of magazines and because of this and that. But men don't really have like an open floor to talk about that kind of stuff, and they should.
Right, but see, the thing about the open floor, it's about being able to have the platform for that, not to be judged. Because you could go on YouTube right now and punch in, you know what I mean, what the women prefer, and you hear all this derogatory stuff. If you don't got a big ass.
I think we heard that earlier.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Or this and that. So you need a group, you know, where guys can really come in. Like, I want those guys to come and say, hey, man, this is what's going on with me. This is what I got. Tell me how to work with this. I'm skilled in a lot of areas. I'm going to have people there that's also skilled. Like, you know, I can do everything. That's going to teach them about techniques and other things on how to bring about an awesome pleasure moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff of that nature and stuff. But, like, I also, like I said, it's nice stuff, but, like, I got a couple questions for you, Mrs. Ariel.
Okay.
You know, so that people could get to know you and stuff like that.
Sure.
Why don't you tell the people about your background and things that you were involved in that made you to be a prime candidate for the director of marketing of XplorHerr?
Okay, well, let's see. I would say maybe over the last 6 to 8 years-ish. My background is a lot in burlesque, the burlesque world. I was a burlesque performer, cabaret singer for years. I did a lot of fun stuff. I did a lot of shows. And I don't know, for people who aren't familiar with burlesque, it's the original art of the striptease. So it's basically what strippers were back before, I guess. They were scandalous back then, but it's different. It's before it was as raw, I guess, as it is now. I have much respect for strippers today, but I know that I could not do what they do. I do not have the athletic ability or the thick skin even that it requires. But burlesque is kind of a throwback to the old school form of eroticism in stage production. And so I used to do a lot of that. I did a lot of jazz and cabaret singing and pinup modeling. So I also produced a show. So I've worked with a lot of models, performers. It's still, I guess, the sex industry, even though it's a little different. It's a little bit more conservative than a lot of other avenues of that industry, but it still is in that industry. So this, it brought my attention to it because it wasn't just about sex. Like, it wasn't like those websites or those advertisements that you see.
Yeah, it wasn't raunchy.
It wasn't raunchy. It wasn't like, you know, hey, take this pill or do this thing, and it just wasn't nasty. It was more. And now I have kids. You know, I'm in a committed relationship, and it's something that is realistic. I think that people now need to kind of be able to talk about. It's not so black and white. It's a little bit controversial. So I feel like I'm in that place in my age and in life where I can kind of take my background, being comfortable with sexuality, but also come to the table and talk about it openly without it being like too raunchy and too crazy. So, and then now I'm here.
Good.
That is awesome, man. And also, now you said and I understand that you were talking about but what are you going to bring to XplorHerr the brand as a director of marketing? Like, what are some of your ideals or some of the things that you hope to bring forth that's going to be creative, going to be fun. Like, just a little bit input on that.
Well, I want to find a way to be able to reach out to the average person, like to our local community, to our friends, our family members, our people that like are just your everyday, like your neighbors that are in relationships or are single and living their lives and are having these conversations and having these thoughts. And what I want to do with my marketing and with my vision, I know a lot of performers, I know a lot of models, I know a lot of people locally in the industry. I would love to, I'm going to create content that is going to be relatable. That's going to be very eye-catching. Obviously people are going to, beautiful women are easy. It's easy to catch the attention with a beautiful woman. But to catch the attention of the women, to catch the attention of the average guy, the average woman, that's a little bit harder, to be able to relate to them, to make people feel comfortable, being able to talk about certain things and certain subjects without feeling like it's too taboo or too dirty or too raunchy, kind of creating a comfortable space where people can let their guard down and feel safe talking about things that they maybe would not have been comfortable talking about before.
So like maybe like a forum for us?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And the thing about like what she's talking about, there's multiple expos out there. You got the AVN, you got the Exotica, you got the ASEC. You got all these things out there that we're going to be a part of in one form or the other. And like I said, man, it's about being able to just empower people.
Yeah. Make people comfortable to talk about this. Like, I want people to see your advertisements and be intrigued and want to know more, and then be immediately able to relate to what they're seeing and not feel ashamed. Like, I don't want them to feel like they're on a pornographic website because they're looking for more information.
Not at all.
Or feel uncomfortable bringing it up to their significant other, like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, something that is very relatable to everybody.
And that's one thing, like, you tapped on that, and I had told my partner Phil, and we was talking, I said the whole thing is about, I want a pastor to be able to go online and not feel ashamed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they have sex too.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't want him to go in there with camouflage on and everything like that to go to that section and get XplorHerr because you don't want nobody to see it. No, it's just another tool to use to enhance the situation. Mm-hmm. I'd rather for them to be able to go do that than for them to go through a heartbreak of divorce. You dig what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because they weren't comfortable having those conversations.
Exactly, and stuff like that. And like, it's about just breaking the barriers, breaking the stigma. You look at today's society, there's a shift going on. Stuff like that. People are coming more aware for the good and for the bad. And the thing is, this is that the old things don't work no more. You know what I mean? People used to sit and say, they talked about, like, look at the families from yesteryears. These women stayed in relationships 60, 70 years. And you know what I mean? And people, and it wasn't all about love. You know what I mean? Some was out of duty, some was just out of many different things. But the thing is, this is that what I've learned over the years is that this marriage is a work.
All relationships.
It's not gonna be a thing where, you know what I mean, things are gonna come easy at all. That things are gonna come easy at all and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? It's about understanding on how to go at it and what you need to do in order for things, you know what I mean, to be better. You know what I mean? Like I said to my wife, like, I look forward to our future. Like, she be moving down here to Florida after Thanksgiving. And I look forward to our adventure, especially with the business about to grow. We get to travel the world and things of that nature because we never really got the opportunity to live life.
Yeah, that's exciting.
You know what I mean? It's very exciting. Like, and my wife is bad, so... You know what I mean? So, like, I really look forward to being able to have that moment where we're able to, like, you know what I mean, just experience life on life terms, man. Like, to look at things from a brand new eye. And then XplorHerr is going to be able to give us the options to do things like that, as I was telling you about with you and your family. You know what I mean? It's nice and dandy to have a bunch of titles. But if your title's not creating an income for you and your family, then what is it? It's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. And you're creating a lot of, with the models and with the brand ambassadors, you're going to be creating a lot of opportunity for people to build themselves, not just be faces and models of the brand, but also build themselves along with the brand.
See, you know, and not taking advantage, because you notice that a lot of times in this industry, women get taken advantage of I'm not in. I'm not trying to have that atmosphere because it's enough money to go around. My thing is this: is that we be able to create a movement that people run to. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is I want to have XplorHerr mansions throughout the U.S. and abroad. And the XplorHerr mansions is not about sex, but it's about people being able to express themselves in a way, man, that's encouraging, that's empowering, and that's freedom.
And you mentioned having like sex therapists and relationship therapists and involved in things like that. I think that's going to be a great platform for people.
And the thing is this, like I said to you about XplorHerr, the XplorHerr aspect is you have a lot of people that have been through a lot of traumatic situations. I'm talking about the child.
It truly does affect the way that you view sex and relationships.
Exactly. So I just don't want you just to think that we're just here to capitalize. No, we also here to help. Because if you have a situation, man, that if you've been traumatized as a child through molestation or whatever, you need to get help for that. And
Absolutely.
I want also XplorHerr to be a part of that too. You don't hear a lot of
healing
companies
from sexual trauma. That's, I think, very important that people are comfortable even opening up about those traumatic experiences.
Yes. And like I said, you don't hear a lot of companies that are looking to solve the problem. They just want to cater to they just want to what's that saying, like they don't want to cure you. They would just want to treat the ailments.
Right.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. And the thing about XplorHerr, I want to let you get freedom.
Yeah,
because intimacy is beautiful. Like, can you imagine being able to touch somebody and just be thrilled, like electric, just go through? Not because you might got a bad job, but just the act of knowing that there's a connection.
Right, and what a better time to reconnect with people than right now.
Yeah, while you're stuck with them.
Yeah, while you're stuck with them, exactly.
You're looking at it, like, what the hell you do?
Hey, like you said, Dwight, earlier, this was a relationship enhancement tool.
Yes.
And so we want to continue to reiterate that fact that this is not a toy. This is not a gimmick. This is not look what I got. You put it on the shelf somewhere. This is something that could potentially save your relationship, give you that quote unquote BDE, and help you with increase your confidence and all that stuff. So I do want to thank everybody for coming out here today, because today, I mean, we've done this almost an hour.
Oh, wow. It doesn't feel like
time goes by super fast, doesn't it?
And one thing before we go, y'all have an XplorHerr day.
That's right. Before we got here, Ariel, where can they find you at again?
So you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. It's Ariel, like the mermaid, Ariel Amoure, like love. Or you can just Google me and add me on whatever.
Oh, and the social media sites will be launching this Friday. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, what else is there? YouTube and all. So we're going to have a plethora of things for people to eat off, to digest.
I would love to know what other things people want to talk about too, like what they'd like us to talk about, what they want to hear about, what they want to know about.
And also, I'm going to have to tell you, this is going to be my last time that y'all do hear from me or not, because I'm going to have people in position to do things that are necessary. But guarantee you will be hearing from Ariel. Yes.
I will be back.
My dynamic director of marketing.
All right, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. Just make sure that you do follow us on all social media. Like Dwight said, it'll be at XplorHerr. So it'll be pretty simple. So XplorHerr. So tune in next time, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.